Saudi Arabia is hosting a massive military exercise called Northern Thunder. All this is happening just days before the start of a long negotiated ceasefire deal in Syria brokered by the United States and Russia. And we know where the Saudis stand on Syria. Assad must go. That's been their position all along. So what do these exercises mean for the future of the region? Joining me in our D.C. studio tonight is Michael Maloof. He is the author and former Senior Security Policy Analyst in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Mr. Maloof, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
There has never been an exercise this large and in scope in the Middle East. What does it mean?
Well, I think for the Saudis, it's posturing. They have made it very, very clear that they want Assad out, even though they are talking about wanting to go in under the rubric of chasing down ISIS. Well, they are part of the anti-ISIS coalition, in which they were supposed to be bombing ISIS positions. They stopped months ago. So this is posturing, in effect, to try to get to lure the U.S. to start sending its own ground troops in.
We're talking about 20 countries involved in this exercise, 350,000 troops, 20,000 tanks, and 3 airplanes. What's the definition of that? Playing around spending money?
Well, it's spending lots of money. They're wasting a lot of money because the Saudis, who are in Yemen and have been, which is neighboring Saudi Arabia, have been in there for over a year. They can't make heads or tails of it.
Do you think the Saudis are getting ready to send ground troops into Syria?
I think that they're posturing. They can line them up. They would have to line them up in Turkey. And I think that if that happens, you're going to see a whole new complexion of violence and in the Middle East.
Now, not to go too far with this, but the suggestion has been made by some that this has the makings of World War III. If the Saudis do engage, where does that leave the United States and Russia after negotiating this long ceasefire? And we all know they're on the opposite sides of what should happen to Assad.
Well, for one thing, it's going to bring the Saudis in direct confrontation with the Iranians, because they are also in Syria. You're going to have, for once, a direct confrontation between the Sunnis and the Shia. Before now, they've been waging proxy wars, but this is going to open up, and it could spread throughout the entire region.
So the dominoes look like this. The European Union says we're not going to sell arms to Saudi Arabia anymore. Right. Saudi Arabia's oil minister meeting with executives in Houston says, guess what? We're going to $20 a barrel, and a lot of you are going to go out of business. Right. And now this military exercise taking place.
Well, you got to understand, the Saudis have been conducting their own independent foreign policy. They've been doing this especially since King Salman came into power. This is to try to reassert themselves because they see that it's all or nothing at this point. This could mean the end of the Saudi kingdom if they don't succeed in this, and they're playing a big, big game.
Mr. Maloof, good to have you with us tonight. Appreciate your time. Big story.